Welcome back, everyone, to Public Affairs. I am your host, Kayleigh, and today I am here with Jeff Spain and Frank Gibson. So, Jeff, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Oh, sure. Well, for starters, good afternoon. And I'd like to actually start with, the president of Columbus State Community College, Dr. David Harrison, has started a tradition of the college of beginning almost every convening or meeting we have with a statement of gratitude. And I'd like to do that here. On behalf of the Ohio Manufacturing Extension Partnership, I want to thank both of you and everyone watching for your interest in manufacturing in Ohio. With that said, I'm Jeff Spain. I'm with the Ohio Manufacturing Extension Partnership. We're headquartered out of Columbus State Community College, and I'll tell you a little more about that in a moment. But I've been doing this for a few years now and working on workforce and economic development in the Central Ohio region for a couple of decades.
Frank, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Again, more or less I can say the same thing is thank you for having us on the show and the audience out there listening hear about manufacturing. I'm an intermediary for the Manufacturing Career Connections, which is a 9-county area, Marion surrounding counties, and then we added Richland and Seneca County. What we do is just make sure that manufacturing has a seat at the table in all the workforce issues that are going on. We use resources in each county, and we use resources in the region, the state. And Jeff is one of those resources that has helped us out to make sure that our mission is fulfilled, which is advocate and promote careers in manufacturing.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Jeff, we'll start with you. What would you like to tell the audience some information on how your organization pertains to the industry of manufacturing?
Absolutely. Well, the Manufacturing Extension Partnership, we refer to it as MEP, at Columbus State is where I spend my days. And I'd like to share a few tidbits with you, some details about the MEP program, and do my best really to answer any questions you might have about our Central Ohio manufacturing ecosystem. So who is the MEP? Well, we are a key component of our regional manufacturing ecosystem. The MEP exists to help manufacturers grow. So whether through new sales or retained sales, new investment or cost savings, we're here to build. We say one partner, multiple service solutions as a motto for our team because we're a connector, really trying to align the right resources at the right time to make manufacturers as successful as possible. Now, we've got a great team at the MEP, but our secret sauce is really the partners we bring to the table to assist manufacturers. On our team, we've got an electrical engineer, we've got mechanical engineers, a polymer engineer, human resource development experts, talent acquisition experts, but those outside folks that we bring in, whether they're university professors or folks from the national labs, are really here to help manufacturers. It is a unique public-private partnership that delivers comprehensive, proven solutions to U.S. manufacturers. So we try to fuel growth through advancing U.S. manufacturing in any way that we can.
So what types of industry manufacturing initiatives is your organization implementing now, and what types of future industry manufacturing initiatives are you planning?
So I'd say workforce. It's all about workforce right now. The biggest crisis is the shortage of available talent in manufacturing. There are 700,000 jobs for Ohio workers in manufacturing. That's an average annual earnings for Ohio workers in manufacturing of around $70,000. Now, the nearly 700,000 jobs for Ohio workers does not include the 3,000 new Intel jobs or the 400 new Amgen jobs in Licking County. It also doesn't include the 2,200 new Honda LG jobs down in Fayette County. By the way, interesting fact, at least interesting to me, while I'm talking about some of our larger manufacturers, statewide, 46% of manufacturers employ fewer than 10 people, 62% fewer than 20 people. So our small to medium manufacturers, which is who the MEP tries to work with the most, really are the soul of what we do. 3,000 new technical employees, though, at Intel grabs your attention. But I want you to remember that automotive is incredibly important to Central Ohio. And we've got 6 new bioscience facilities looking for around 1,500 high-skilled technical employees right now. So by the numbers, Intel wants around 3,000 high-tech employees, 7,000 additional construction workers, so a whole lot of folks there. Bioscience is looking for about 1,500 new technical jobs. I mentioned the Honda LG initiative for about 2,200 jobs, and that's a lot. But in Ohio, we know how to do big. So as context, Honda currently has around 16,000 employees, 4,700 just at the Marysville Automotive Plant. Right down the road from us, Whirlpool has around 2,500 employees. Outside of manufacturing, if you look at someone like Nationwide Insurance, 11,000 employees. Or Chase Bank, who I drove by on the way coming here today, 19,200. We know how to do big. So that's a lot of context. Let me try to answer your question a little bit. What is the MEP doing about it? Well, we're leading or participating in as many manufacturing awareness events as we can. So for example, on Tuesday, October 15th, over at the Marion County Fairgrounds, we're going to be at the Made in Marion Career Expo, letting students know that modern manufacturing is a great career opportunity. It's not dark, dirty, dangerous, diminishing. It is an exciting, good, rewarding career pathway. Well, after we interact with students or individuals, we help to train and educate them for the workforce. And that training can range from college level programs like what Marion Technical Career offers or OSU offers right down the road, or it could be entry level programs. All right, this morning our team had a beginning of a 3-week long intensive named Manufacturing Ready. It's a program being funded through the Good Job Challenge grant that the Ohio Manufacturing Association received. So there's no fee being charged participants. The participants are going through this 3-week class in basic AC/DC, basic pneumatics, hand tools, safety, the fundamentals of measurement, all with the idea of being ready to go into a manufacturing job and be effective on day one. At the end of the program, we host an interview event where local employers that are hiring get to meet the participants and see would they be a good fit for them. Another example, how we're working with it, how we're addressing the talent shortage, and this is nothing new to manufacturing. We're using automation. Specifically, we're using collaborative robots. Our team of engineers works with a manufacturer, and we look at, do they have a process that could be automated? Just about everything could be automated, so it's should it be automated? If it is, we look at, can we use a collaborative robot? And that's as the name implies, it's something that works in collaboration with a human, and we see how we can automate it. And then we look at how can we upskill any individuals that may now be able to work in other areas of the plant. So workforce is my answer to you. Anything we can do to help get the next generation ready.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a lot of information there. I didn't realize how the statistics were that high. So what role does manufacturing play in the economics of the region your organization serves?
What role does manufacturing play in the economic region? That's a great question. Manufacturing accounts for almost 16.9% of the state's GDP. It's $134 billion. And it's the largest of the 20 sectors of the Ohio economy. You know, Ohio historically is third in manufacturing GDP and employment, behind only California and Texas. Now, last year, Illinois did edge us out at $138 billion, but my friend Ryan Osberg, the president and CEO of the Ohio Manufacturing Association, told me that he's confident that with the economic development news like Intel, Honda, Joby Aeronautics, that we're going to retain or regain our third place standings quickly. And I know it sounds kind of funny to be bragging over third place, but if you think about 1 and 2, California and Texas are two huge states with incredibly large economies. But we're doing our best to catch up with them. Our annual payroll of $44 billion in manufacturing is the highest of any Ohio industry sector. So again, what role does manufacturing play in the economics of the region? Well, it plays a crucial role in the region's economy by creating jobs, stimulating the economy through growth and production of goods, driving innovation, attracting investment, supporting local businesses, supply chains, everything that goes into making a community what it is. When you create more jobs, like manufacturing does, you create a middle class and you reduce poverty. The Economic Policy Institute reports that each manufacturing job creates 3 additional jobs. So think about everything that a manufacturer employee would need. They need to eat, so you have more restaurants. They need to live, so you have more grocery stores. All the things that come along with it. Manufacturing helps to feed families with family-sustaining wages. It builds pride. People are proud to make things. So it really is what brings a community together.
Yeah. So Jeff, how do people find out about manufacturing?
Kayleigh, you keep asking really good questions. I appreciate that. People find out about manufacturing in a lot of different ways. There's this legacy of manufacturing in Ohio, and that's one of the ways that people find out about it is their grandparents worked in the manufacturing plant or their neighbors worked in the manufacturing plant. So they've learned about it that way. I can remember when I was young, my father worked in the paper industry, and going to the paper mill with him is how I found out about it. But we've got a generation, particularly in some of our areas, that have never been into a manufacturing plant. So we're trying to show them new ways. We're trying to get in and help them out. I had the chance 2 years ago to go to Germany and explore their apprenticeship program because they're incredible the way they do it. And I asked that question when I was there to some of the apprentices. How did you find out about manufacturing? And it was the same way our folks had. Their family, their friends they had. So I started asking people that didn't have family and friends, tell me about it. And it was through career exploration. So we wanted to bring some of that back here to the U.S. We wanted to start to make sure that people knew there was a variety of jobs within the manufacturing plant. Frank made a great comment about manufacturing isn't all about strong backs and moving stuff around, that there's so much that goes into it. There's a variety of jobs that are available. So most of the manufacturers I know have an accountant, have an HR person, have some type of marketing person. So we're starting to go into those career tracks in school and say, have you thought about manufacturing? And then we want to bring them out into a facility. We try to do as many tours as we can. We're always trying to connect people and get them in to see what manufacturing looks like. One of the programs we had the privilege of working on just before the pandemic started, we called it It was Modern Manufacturing Mondays with Mom. And the idea behind it was, well, there's a body of research that says when high school kids are trying to decide what they're going to do with the rest of their lives, they ask mom. Not that dad's not important, they just don't listen to dad. So they go to mom. So our thought was, well, what if mom's never been in a manufacturing facility? What if mom's chief of surgery at the hospital and just hasn't been into a manufacturing site? Let's get her out to see it. So we started partnering with some of the manufacturers in Central Ohio to have them host evenings where they would bring mom and her daughter or sons into the plant and see what it really looks like. That was a lot of fun to get folks that maybe we hadn't thought about manufacturing before. Tours. And we're also trying to use a lot of virtual reality and augmented reality. So people that maybe can't go into a clean room or a manufacturing floor can, through virtual reality, see what it would look like. So a lot of different ways. We're trying anything we can. So good question.
I think that's really cool that you guys are getting more into schools because I wish these opportunities were to me when I was in school learning about manufacturing because you're right. These kids are just trying to figure out what they want to do in their lives.
Yeah. You go with what you know, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I know teacher, I know doctor, I know these things that I see. Now suddenly when you hear, Frank mentioned plant manager, well, what does that really mean? And you start to see what it looks like.
Yeah. What role does manufacturing play in the economics of the region your organization serves? And what role does manufacturing play in the economics of the state in Ohio?
So, Frank, Jeff did a really good job of giving the stats, and the Ohio Manufacturers Association did that report, and everything that he said I had listed here. One of the things that he didn't mention, I believe, was the number of countries that they serve. 212 countries we export to in the state of Ohio. So that's about 56.8 million. Mm-hmm. And then if you take a look at the region, what I did was sort of take a look at the 9 counties that we serve, and the manufacturing facilities are 416. Again, what he stated, I think we done a study back in 2014, 2015, that within a 50-mile radius of Marion, there's over 500 manufacturers. Over 80% of those were 50 employees or less. So small manufacturing is huge. And then you get the big ones like the Hondas and the Whirlpools and some of those others. But manufacturing facilities, Marion, 68, since we're in Marion County right now. The largest number of manufacturers is in Delaware, 135. I also took a look at the jobs. The number of jobs in the region is 29,932. But if you add Seneca and Richland, which we added last year, we're at 44,355 jobs. Now, they also broke it down percentage-wise. Marion, of all jobs in Marion, is 18.5% is manufacturing. So that's something to look at. Now, again, with a large number like Delaware, at 7,200 jobs, it's 5.1%. So the difference in percentages is based on the population. So, you mentioned Union County and Honda. They have like 8,525 jobs and makes up 18.8% of the jobs in that area. But those are some interesting, a breakdown of the stats just to show that manufacturing is huge. There's jobs out there, and it's the number he mentioned was just shy of 700,000 jobs in Ohio that are manufacturing jobs, and I think the hourly average wage is somewhere around $31 an hour. But what we don't see is the numbers of how many hourly employees versus salary employees and what makes up that number. But if you're in a skilled trades area, $31 is probably a pretty good number to use. In fact, I had a conversation with a gentleman just last week, and he was making $50 an hour on a job, but he had been there a few years. So it's a good living for people that want to get out there and experience making product that everyone uses.
Yeah. So I have a question for both of you to answer, so I don't know who wants to go first. But if you were to convince someone to get into manufacturing, what would you tell them? You want to start, Jeff?
If I was going to try to convince someone to get into manufacturing, I would try to get across to them how rewarding of an experience it can be. When you make something, when you can see the end result of it, it fills you with a sense of accomplishment. And that's something that really can get across to folks. The other thing I try to tell them is the possibilities that are there right now. We are in a time period where manufacturing jobs are available and career growth is available. So for someone that really wanted to do something, it's a great field to be in. The money's fantastic, but there's so many other things that come along with that. So that's sharing with them.
Yeah, that's with any job, I feel like, just the experience and getting to do something.
You know, within the Manufacturing Ready program that I briefly mentioned, part of that program, we've built in a realistic job preview where during the 3-week program, one day out of each week, the participants go into a manufacturing site to see what's it really look like. We know so many folks have never been inside of a manufacturing plant. They may have driven by it, but they really don't know what goes into it. You know, Frank and I have both referenced Honda a couple of times, but how many people driving by the road really know what it looks like to go in and make a car as quickly as they can? Or Whirlpool, you know, we all know what the appliances look like when they get to our home. What's it look like to put it together, to get that supply chain to bring all the parts and components? So we're taking our participants or our students into the facility to see what's it really like. And it is so rewarding when you can see those faces light up and go, I could see myself doing that. So that's what I would try to share.
I think that's cool because I have drove by Whirlpool, but I've never been inside. So it's something cool to think about.
It is. Frank, what would you do? Yeah. How would you convince people?
One of the things is that manufacturing, I was 20 plus years at manufacturing, And I started as a press operator and moved my way up through the ranks, operations manager, plant manager at one time. The thing is it's always a challenge. There's always a challenge in the job you do. And people mostly think that manufacturing is labor. Use your back, lift things, that kind of thing. In today's age, it's your mind. So it's a challenge your mind to be able to do something that's going to make a product that might be in healthcare. And talk about transportation a lot, but look at all the equipment and machinery that they use when they're diagnosing problems that patients have, or surgeons anymore, robotics and everything else. So it's according to what you want to do as an individual, but if you really want to take a challenge and use your mind, that manufacturing is a good one to get into, and there's all kinds of opportunities, no matter whether it's hourly or salary, to work your way up through the ranks. And that's what I see is that if you get in there and you do the job, you're going to be very successful in what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So Frank, tell the audience about the future manufacturing programs that we've been talking about.
Yeah, Kayleigh has given us some dates in September. We have 3 more shows that are going to be taped this month, and then in the future, also again with resources that come into play with manufacturers and what they have available in the area. What we hope to do in the future is also show success stories, is bring somebody in that has used these resources and then talk about the importance of them getting that lead to get into manufacturing and get that job and made a career of it, and not just jump from job to job. They've decided manufacturing is where they want to be. So those are the kind of things in the future shows that we're planning to work with you, Kayleigh, and bring to the audience out there and let people know that not just in the big city, because one thing that if you think about Marion and surrounding counties, it's all rural. And in these rural counties, manufacturing is huge, and it's probably the 3 economies. You have manufacturing, healthcare, and what was the other one? Manufacturing, healthcare, construction, or no, it's farming, agriculture. So everybody knows agriculture, but who knows manufacturing?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why we've been bringing you guys on to learn more about manufacturing for these people. Is there a closing statement or anything that you'd like to add that we may have missed? We'll start with Jeff.
I don't know about things we've missed, but I will say things that make Ohio so spectacular for manufacturing. One of the things that comes to mind as I was driving here today, I stopped and I thought, geography matters. What did we learn from the pandemic? Our supply chains were much more fragile than we thought. So how can we start to fix that? And part of that is manufacturing stuff here. Make more stuff local. Shore up our supply lines. I'll borrow from the Ohio Manufacturing Association's secret sauce analogy that they use. And that's Ohio has it all. We have location and business climate. We're centrally located. We don't have a lot of hurricanes that come through, or earthquakes, or those disasters that happen. Combine that with Jobs Ohio attracting investments, creating jobs, promoting sustainable economic development. It significantly boosts our competitiveness both nationally and internationally. People are looking to Ohio for a place to set up their manufacturing business. We talk about workforce initiatives. Why workforce is our number one opportunity, it's also one of the places where we shine. When I talk with my colleagues across the country and I share things like the DeWine Husted administration's Tech Cred program. Tech Cred is a funding opportunity for local manufacturers to come in and fund their individuals to upskill, to get technical credentials. a robust community college system and university system throughout Ohio. We're building a great workforce. Things like the Midwestern work ethic is real. When I share that with my colleagues, the way we actually do stuff and come together. I've mentioned Governor DeWine and Lieutenant Governor Husted, their collaborative leadership approach, their visionary policies, their commitment to addressing key issues. That matters. Our Industry 4.0 investments matter. The way that we're looking at how do we leverage technology. And our legacy. We have a manufacturing legacy in this state, a strong foundation of expertise, skilled workforce, and really industrial capabilities all make manufacturing something that's in our DNA and something I think people should consider when they're thinking about how do they want to spend their life, what do they want to do.
Yeah. Frank, would you like to add a closing statement?
Yeah, if I was to look at manufacturing in the state we're in at this point in time, over 600,000, almost 700,000 jobs that are manufacturing. One of the things that manufacturers tell us is let's just have people that understand what work is and being able to do that. But as we get out into the counties and we have these discussions in workforce development, it's all about career planning. And very seldom do students get too much information about what kind of careers they can have in manufacturing. So if they get the word out on that, and then there's things that are being done, Made Marion Expo that they have. And that is one where you get like 30 some exhibitors come in and they do an exercise on something that relates to manufacturing and have the students get involved with that hands-on. I think last year there might have been like 600, 800 students that were bussed in on that day to do that. So they're planning that. In each of the counties, there's something going on in the month of October because October 5th was Manufacturing Day, but it turned into October is the month to do that. But we have counties that are doing things in November and December. So I'm saying it's manufacturing, be exposed to it is a calendar year, January through December, and learn as much as you can about it. But education, training, no matter whether you get it in the schools or whether you get it hands-on at the job you're on, take advantage of that because that's what's going to get you into the future.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. But I want to thank you both for coming out today, telling the audience about what you guys do, me learning a lot about what you guys do, and knowing what's going on around me. So I appreciate you guys coming in. And as always, you're watching Public Affairs, and I am your host, Kayleigh Aiken. Thank you.
Hi, my name's John Aiken. I'm the president and general manager of the Central Ohio Association of Christian Broadcasters. Hey, have you been wondering what's going on with your local Christian TV station? Maybe they want to find out when certain programs might be airing. Well, how you find that out is pretty easy. You go sign up for a newsletter. It's real easy to do that too. You just go to our website, coacb.org, look for the newsletter tab, fill out the form, click I want to sign up, and we'll get you a newsletter coming to your door today.